In this video, we're going to be showing you everything you need to know about using Profit Mapper with Profit Lounge. Let's get started. So as you can see in HD Staff Deals, when we have a link that is an inventory checker that you guys can check your local inventory on, you will see profitmapper.com/inventory/blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we will just post the link with the price. Sometimes we will post stock quantity. Sometimes we will post kind of something like this. Sometimes we'll give you an estimated resale value. Other times, again, it'll kind of look just like this. So when you see a link like this, you could just press on it. What's going to happen here is it's going to load up Profit Mapper. You're going to see all your retailers on the left. You're going to see the product number, which is also known as the internet number for Home Depot. You're going to see your zip code. If you are on the road, you could press this little set home zip code, and then it should populate with requesting your location. You would just hit allow, and you could select the radius that you want to search. If you want to always look for the largest radius, you can check out 35 miles. If you want to get an increasement in radius, you can always upgrade to scavenger. We're not going to talk too much about that in this call, but you guys can always open a support ticket if you have questions. You can also include the unavailable if you wish. It will tell you the MSRP, a little bit more information about the product. It will pop it open in the retailer's website if you click that view on retailer of whatever. It will also populate the listing if it's sold on Amazon, and then you can kind of see a Keepa graph as well, how that price is sold on Amazon over time. So once you hit check inventory, what it's going to do is it's going to now search your region in that 35 miles of this zip code for all stores at Home Depot that have this exact item on clearance. It will also show you full price too, if you wish. And again, you also have that option above. If you wish to include unavailable, there's not really a purpose for this one, but some users just want to see every single store that's out there, and you're more than welcome to do so. Once it populates, you'll see something that looks just like this. If the deal is not available in your area, it will not have any stores at all, and it will just say unavailable or no stores. It will pretty much just be common sense that it's not available. If it is available, you'll see all these stores that populate down here. So you can see a little map, kind of shows the stores, what their prices are at just a blink of an eye. And if we scroll down, you will see all the stores that are discounted. The most discounted store will appear first, and then same with quantity too. So the store with the most amount of quantity will always populate first, and it will go down the list. However, you can look on the right side, and it will show distance of how far that is from the zip code that was looked up over here. You'll see the store, you'll see the pickup status, you'll see quantity, price, and distance. The price will be the in-store price that it'll ring up as. The stores on the left obviously show the location. Pickup. This isn't really needed too much. However, just by clicking on this and they're showing that there's 80 and there's 41 in stock, this might be a nationwide sale. Otherwise, what it'll also do is if it shows it's available for pickup, if we take this store for example, we go back, it will probably say that it's in-store clearance at that price, which, look at me go. So you can see online that this would be one of those items that it does show the clearance pricing online. Sometimes it doesn't show that, just depends on the item. The store is 40. So this could be something that you would want to monitor over time. What you can do is you can add this to your list, and by doing so, you could select the stores on the left, and you can kind of select which ones you want. Maybe I wouldn't do any of these 189 because those aren't on sale at all, considering the fact that MSRP is 199. I can only assume that all of these are full price, and I'm not going to waste my time. So for these two stores that are discounted, I will just take the top two that are the most amount of quantity. I will hit add to list, and that'll automatically add it into my Profit Mapper list. Now, as you can see on the left-hand side over here, you can select the lists. If you have multiple, which will show you how to do, it will populate in here. You could also select the store in your list. So if you're going to a specific store and you added a bunch of different items throughout your time in Profit Lounge to your list, you can always just go in here and select a specific store. And you can also adjust what comes up. If you want to add a few more things, if you want the status and the retailer, you can do that. It'll just populate in this little area down here. For what I have, I just have product ID, store ID, and all these others. And you can also reorder this too. So maybe you want the preview first that shows the photo. Maybe you want the confirmed in-store price, which will show the price of the product in store. Maybe you want the quantity next. You can kind of do this as your own. I think it's easiest for me though, just to have the kind of address over here and whatever else. So once you hit that again, it will leave it as is. Filters, you can adjust more in here. There's a few more buttons to the right. If you want, you can manually add items. I don't really recommend doing this because you have to find the product ID of these retailers and then manually populate them in. This takes a lot of time. It's much easier just to use this inventory feature at the top. Next up, I can't really show too much of this, but if I had another list, which I'll show you in a few minutes, you can hit that move, and then you can select the new list, and it'll move that exact item that you have selected or items over to that new list. Toggle notifications. This is for Scavenger only. So if you guys want price drop notifications at Home Depot, you can subscribe to Scavenger and get price drop notifications. If you want directions, you can put it in a zip code roughly. What'll happen is it will show you a basic route. It'll tell the amount of miles you have, time, so on and so forth. If you want to refresh this manually, you can. Users do this usually once every morning or so if they don't have Scavenger. What it will do is update the new quantity, the new price, if it drops in price. As you can see right here, the quantity of these two products alone, since my last time I rechecked, are now at 20 for pricing and quantity. So if I had quantity change selected, you would also see that, but I don't have quantity change selected. So now you can see 82 of these guys went down in price. This was also blank for confirmed in-store price, so most likely this was a penny item. Next up, you can download the items in your list too. If there's anything that has 0 quantity, you can press this little cleanup, and then it will automatically remove those 2 that don't have stock. And if you want to manually remove an item, you would just select which one and hit delete, and it'll kick it off your list. All right, so now that we talked about what all these buttons do, and these buttons as well, I will also show you what these buttons down here do. So if you see an item in your list, which of course you will once it's added to your list, you'll also see several buttons over here. Now, what these buttons do, first one with the eye, this is the information tab. What in list 1 means is that this specific item at this specific store is in X users lists. So for me, it'll automatically show 1. If it's in multiple people, if somebody else had this, it would be 2, you and that other person, so on and so forth. Ghost reports, what you can do with that is if somebody reports this as ghost stock, this just means that the person went in the store and said that it wasn't there. We do have a feature that lets staff know if users are reporting an item as ghost and then they decide to buy the item, as in almost mark it as if it's not there to deter other users from going to that store. We have banned people in the past, so just do it, please, if you're only going into the store and doing it. And then you can also remove that. I'm not going to remove it for the sake of this because this is my only item in my list. Pricing change over time. This is a new feature that has been recently added. By the time of when you're watching this video, this might be a couple months old. Who knows? But this will pretty much just show the MSRP, quantity, and price of this product over time. So you can eventually see a trend once we have more information of this specific product over time. So that's Ghost Report. You can also do these. This should be Scavenger only. I don't know if that'll actually process through. You can also add notes. So you could say like, grab food after. I don't know. You can add notes, and then once you click it, it'll show there. You can also move these up and down if you have several items in your list. And that is really it for the sake of this page. Now, there's not really much you need to know other than maybe this stores tab. This kind of doesn't really have a feature. If you want to see where a store might be on the map, you can just type in the Home Depot store number and it'll populate here. I'll just kind of show you where that's at. But most important tab is over here on the user. Well, second and most important tab, inventory is number 1. So if we go over here and we hit recently viewed under user tab, it will now show the recent items at the different retailers that I searched for in a region. You can also hit view and see what populated. I'll go back over here. Again, just kind of helps you out, keep track of what you've been looking up in case you lose something. Keyword Pinger. This will send you direct messages to your Discord, soon to be app as well, once everything is up and running. And what happens here is if there's a keyword you're looking for, you can type that in. Some users put their zip code. What that'll do is anytime one of the bots picks up a random item, it might be a good item, it might be super, super small, not even worth reselling kind of item. Whatever it is, you can hit global and you can do that keyword. Otherwise, if you only care about a specific channel, it'll do that too. So if we put wherever, say, I don't know, let's find a bot channel, except I don't think this is populated yet because I just added roles on this account. What you will need to do is, anyways, say you're looking for this channel and this keyword. You can also put a percentage off. I recommend just leaving that blank and just hitting create. As you can see, all these keywords will eventually notify me in direct message when they're found. So if, let's say, an iPhone charger and Target staff deals is alerted, I'll get a direct message. It'll look something just like this. And you can click on it and it'll take you right to it. I don't know why I don't have access to that. But besides the point. Next up over here, clearance lists. If you put in a Home Depot store number, it'll populate eventually of all the items that are clearance at that store. Last night I ran this. So if we click this little Profit Mapper link that eventually gets sent to your direct message, you'll get something like this. It says report number. You could filter by the MSRP. You can also filter it by, say, a minimum MSRP of $155. What that should do is it'll automatically remove several pages. I already filtered by MSRP. So it'll knock some stuff off. But as you can see, there's no more quote-unquote cheap items floating around. If you want to do percentage off, it'll kind of show the percentage off here. You can add these into your Profit Mapper list the same way. You hit view on Mapper and then add those items into your list if you wish to possibly go find them or want to know more information on the product. I'll just hit reset. You can also review this as a table. I recommend grid. Super easy to view. Next up, limits. This talks about how many limits you have left for the day. As you can see, I used about 1 or 2 pages of Home Depot searches. Well, according to this, only 1. So it'll automatically adjust here. This resets every 24 hours, I believe. It will not update at midnight. For the blacklist tab, if you're subscribed to Scrapey Scrape, you'll automatically see this. If you go back to the Discord server and go to HD section guide, you guys can actually view this little /sub command down here. It'll walk you through the steps. For the sake of this Profit Mapper video, I'm not going to go over them. However, you can always review this, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. Going back, we will head over to the settings next. And in here, this is the final tab I have for you. If you eventually move, or say you're going to be in a location for more than 6 months, feel free to open a support ticket on the Discord server, tag CentralMite with your new zip code, and we will update it there. You can also change light mode. I'm sorry, everybody, for blinding you. Dark mode, and then system mode too. If you also want to go over to shopping list, this will show you all your lists. And now, because I have ADHD, I am now remembering the list feature that I just completely skipped over. If we go back to lists, in the top right corner, you will see shopping lists. Rapid recheck. This is only for scavenger users. This gives price drop notifications, and it checks the product up to 20 items per day every 5 minutes of when the store is open. So you get a huge advantage, and the subscription pays for itself over there. Now, if you want to do a manual shopping list, you can just hit add. You would type in the list name here, hit submit, and what that'll do is it would populate under there. I'm not going to show you in this video just because of the fact that I have personal information, but it is super easy to do. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So remember, user, lists, add, type whatever in, and then it should say submit. Then it would populate as if it's another list. This would be how many items are in the list. This also same thing. You can move these up and down just to kind of reorganize them. You won't see rapid recheck if you don't have scavenger, but you can also rename them if you choose. You can delete them too, and you can also download them. So same thing over here. No matter what retailer you're on, say we do Target staff deals, anytime you see this Profit Mapper link, you just click this guy. As you can see, it automatically populates into the next area. This is a Target deal, automatically puts the input in, radius, and when we do this, you only have 10 lookups a day. So be sure not to waste any. As you can see down here, for Target, we will look at pickup not available. And what that'll do is once we click this little price check button, it will check the in-store price. It'll say it's $349. That's not any discount. If it's available for pickup, most likely it is full price. So don't waste your lookups. As you can see, $349, $349, $349. Sometimes some items won't show it's available for pickup online, but you should still check it just in case, because most of the time they will still be discounted. There's very few items that end up just like this where it says not available, and you go from there. But if we take a better example, possibly, all right, let's do something a little more basic. Let's say we want to look at these little microphones. We'll do the same thing, check inventory. As you can see right here, there's 2 stock. Once I refresh that, it will start showing those prices as well. The distance, same logic applies for all different retailers. This might take some times. If it is NA, this just means that the product is no longer sold in the store. So what happens is you take this to self-checkout, or you just take it to an employee at the registers, and it will now show that it needs somebody to manually put in a price, or it has to be unsold. Now, they have the right to refuse service, so don't argue. Most of the time, this isn't an issue, and half the time, you can negotiate to sell them at the last price sold, which is 70% off the MSRP for Target. If we go back and kind of just try another one, let's see if we can get a better example of what is partially clearance instead of fully out of stock. You could also kind of think of this like a penny item for Target, but you can't buy these 99% of the time, and you most certainly cannot buy them for a penny. So we'll do this. This says pickup unavailable, and these are kind of older, so there's a higher chance that this is NA2. I'm just kind of scrolling through that channel for the sake of this video. But yeah, this was posted a while ago. So what happens is they usually all go in the same amount of time. That's why if you scroll up and you kind of check a price on something, there is a good chance that it might be clearance now for your area, but then there's also another chance that it might show that NA, because this is a super old deal, which means that the product is still in their inventory, but the staff never removed it. So I'll finish this up. I'll check this guy. As you can see, these are all available, and especially when you have super high quantities, this also means it's probably full price. That's all I have for this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to open a support ticket. Our support team will help you out, and that's all I have. Take care.